Hey guys, welcome to my Kenshi Survival Guide. Kenshi is a game, is basically a post-apocalyptic desert game. Reminds me of sort of like a Japanese-inspired Mad Max, if you guys don't know too much about it, but that's sort of the setting. But today we're going to be doing a little bit of a walkthrough, let's play, but it's also going to be a guide for you guys in knowing how the game works and what to do, make a couple, starting caps or whatever you want to call them, get some currency going. So let's go ahead and get into a new game here. I'm going to be playing on the Wanderer difficulty. I recommend for for beginners that you use the Wanderer beginning. It's not too difficult and it's not too easy. It's the default game, the way it was meant to be played. And so let's jump into it. I recommend you do the same, so we're on the same page if you need to follow along with the guide. So let's go ahead and begin on the Wanderer beginning. Now I'll go through the UI and user and the interface and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna be doing that a little bit down the road. Actually, you might be asking yourself, "Oh, why I came here to learn, as quick as possible." But I feel like I could best explain it when the UI element is actually being in use, so that I can tell you guys what's going on while it's actually doing the stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and load in my character here that I have made for myself. Doesn't look really like me, but I just put brown hair because I got brown hair in real life, and I put brown eyes because I got brown eyes. But this really doesn't look like me. But this is me. I made me a little bit earlier, but this isn't really me. If you guys understand where I'm coming from. So you start out, depending on what your start is, of course, you start out in random locations. With the Wanderer start, if you did choose that, you normally start out in a holy village, which is basically just a peaceful little village. And by the way, everything looks white right now. It's lagging because that's just what happens in the beginning. I will take some time to talk about the most important UI aspects, even if I said I wasn't going to go through the UI all at once. So normal, or the need to know UI aspects here are your all these bars. So basically, this is self-explanatory though. If you look at it, it's a bar. This shows how much your blood you have. If the bar goes to 0, you lost all your blood. That's really bad. If your head bar goes to 0, your head is completely destroyed, and so on and so forth. A little bit extra though is hunger, and this works a little bit differently. Blood and hunger are like the two unique ones because blood is capped at 75, the rest is at 100%, and then hunger is capped at 300, which is actually overfed. Anything below 200 is malnourished, and depending on how far below you go, below 200, depending on how actually far below you are, the more penalties you suffer. And you don't get any bonuses if you fill it up past 200, and you just need to stay at 200. Anything extra is just gravy. So we spawn in this village, and so you might be asking yourself, well, I probably searched this video on YouTube because I want to know how to get started, and well, we're going to show you how to get started right now. So what I recommend doing, who is this? Who the fuck are these guys? Oh, these guys are friendlies, okay, or neutral. I thought they were bandits for a second. There are opportunities for bandits to raid villages, and sometimes it happens right away. This game is pretty random and open freeform, so, anything could happen. I've seen villages being attacked right away. But what you want to do is you want to find the first move, in my opinion, not only to train your toughness up, but to get some money in your bank account, would be to find copper or iron, preferably copper, and you can find or know that you found some by these big metallic looking rocks that stick out of the desert. Iron is a little bit more iron looking, dark metalish. Copper is more brown looking, like copper. So I recommend first thing you do is you get over here and you operate a machine, so to speak. This is what your state is going to be, basically. It says operating machine, but we're really just mining. If you want to get technical, it's not really machine. But yeah, it's free to mine. You don't need a pickaxe. You don't need to buy one. Everyone can mine just by right-clicking the rock, and I recommend speeding it up. So back to the UI thing. This is what I was meaning by showing you guys the UI as we're actually doing it. As you can see, whatever skill you're working on improving shows up right in your sort of main box right here. If you see my cursor in the bottom left, it says state normal, goal, operating machine, encumbered 0%, and then finally it shows whatever skill is being improved at the moment. And right now we're improving our laboring skill, and we can go to our statistic, which is abbreviated STA here on the bottom right hand corner of the UI, and this will open up all of our attributes as well as our skills, and we can hover over each and every one of these and get a very detailed description. For whatever reason, when you click on like toughness and you try to like scroll down to read the rest of the description, it doesn't work. Like it doesn't, you can't, when you move to go scroll down, it doesn't let you scroll. So it's just sort of the developer's issue right now, not mine or yours, so don't worry about that. So some of them are caught up, but or like cut off rather. But back to what I was doing here. While your character is laboring, he will gain skills in laboring, or skill points necessarily, and then you'll reach the next level. We started at level 1, now we're level 3 already. And this will, you can hover over each of them to see what affects, but specifically laboring affects mining and using machinery and the speed of rate of which it's completed. Right now we're at 0.53, and as we level up we can get it higher. So basically the efficiency of you working on a certain thing will improve as you level up, and you actually have to get experience by doing whatever you want to do. So if you want to research a lot of stuff, you want your guy to be really good at researching, you're going to have to, you know, research in the beginning with a low research skill and just build it up. So and you can control multiple people in your party. So first thing I recommend doing, like I said, like we're doing right now while I'm giving you guys a rundown on the most important stuff right now, is, I mean, you're going to be good on food for at least a couple in-game days, at least an in-game day. So you don't need to worry about food right away. And if you chose the Wanderer Star, which is what I recommend for your first time or even second time, you'll have 1,000 currency. You'll start out with 1,000 cats is what they're called, and you can easily buy more food with those. Now if you did choose a starting option that does not have any currency to start out with, the same thing still applies. I would recommend going and finding copper right away, or iron, preferably copper. It's more expensive than iron, because using advanced machinery, you won't be able to use copper in your machinery in a while, or for a while rather, but the villages don't care. They will buy it at an increased price compared to iron, because it is more advanced and more rare technically. So I recommend finding copper, and what you want to do is you want to mine it until it gets full. I believe we can store like 5 or 4, and speaking of that, we now have 4 copper. So I'm going to go ahead and tell our character to stop, and I'm going to click on the copper. You click on the copper rock, by the way, to open up its resource, and you can do this to any building or machine that you start when you start to build your own base and stuff. You can do this to any like building or machine, like a stone refinery, a quarry, stuff like that, and you will see this interface, and it'll tell you output, and if there's anything that needs to be inputted to the machine, it'll also show you the input on the same panel. Excuse me, but on the output ones, or the copper resources, you only have to worry about the output. So, and that's just outputting copper. We're about ready to increase our toughness without getting in combat, and I'm going to show you how you do that. Basically, as you can see on our inventory here, it's abbreviated INV on the UI in the bottom right hand corner. And as we're, you know, like I said, I'm explaining as we're going, and well, we're going to be, you know, transferring your iron or copper into your inventory. So now's the time to explain the inventory. What you want to do is to actually increase your toughness, you need to break your back, quite literally. I mean, not like fractured or anything. Your guy doesn't like go in a fucking, you know, coma and like die, but you want to overweight your backpack. You want to encumber yourself. Long story short, and what this does is while your guy runs, he will be over encumbered because he's carrying too much, and that'll hurt his back technically, but it'll also increase his toughness, which it just gives you stuff like wound degeneration speed, damage resistance, and it also increases your health before you get knocked out, like your knockout point. So toughness is something you want to increase right off the bat, otherwise you're going to get beat up a lot and very easily. So what you want to do is, once you have however much iron or copper you can fit in your inventory, I'm just going to do 4, but you can just stay there until you get as much as you can fit in your inventory, and more power to you. And the more you fit in your inventory, though, the more your guy will move slower, the more encumbered he is. However, that's the more toughness experience he will gain while he's over encumbered. As you can see, normally I would be able to run at 12 miles per hour, but I'm actually suffering a 4 mile per hour hit because I'm over encumbered, and that would only increase in the penalty, the more encumbered I got. So what you should do is you probably either spawn near a big city or in a village, and once you get your iron or copper, you should go to the village leader or a city shop. Any shop will do, as long as it has the option, I'm just looking to trade with someone. And what you want to do is you want to sell your copper or iron by just clicking and dragging from your inventory that will pop up when you ask them to trade, and into their inventory. You want to drag it into their inventory, and then you can click inventory items from their items and put them in your inventory, and you will buy them. Quite simple. I just bought 2 dried meat right here. I recommend buying some meat or food in general. Once you sell some copper, you'll have more than enough money to buy, or iron as well. You'll have more than enough money to buy enough food to begin. So after you got that food, you're basically set for at least 3 in-game days now to travel and pick or just explore the map if you wanted. But in this survival guide, I'm going to be doing a base building because I want to grow. I want to grow and start like sort of like an empire, my own faction. I'm going to show you guys how to do that really easily because it's not as hard as you may think it is. We already almost made 1,000 more than we started with, 1,000 more cats. And just by mining for like what, 8 minutes, 6 minutes. So yeah, the first thing I want you guys to do is go and find some copper, iron, mine it, over encumber yourself, get your toughness a little bit up by doing that, and go and sell it to a local village leader or a local merchant, whichever is closer to your character. And once you have that, you have some money, and we're gonna get into phase 2 in the next episode, which is going into a big city. We're going to be finding a big city. We're going to be getting supplies. We need to start our small little outpost we're going to build. That is the next step in the next episode. And so I hope you guys will subscribe and stick around for that. I'll be uploading it at least 1 episode a day, at least, in this survival guide, because I've been playing Kenshi a lot, and it's really simple. So if anyone was having difficulties like I was in the first few hours, I wanted to just jumpstart your course of playing Kenshi and enjoying it. So once again, hope to see you guys in the next episode, so make sure you subscribe if you're interested in that, and well, yeah, see you over there.